Welcome back, everyone, to This Can't Be Happening. I am back with a segment called Useless Car Reviews. You might be asking yourself, what could he possibly have that is a big piece of garbage, or one of the biggest pieces of garbage on the planet? Well, let's get moving to it. It is a 2019 BMW X3. Now, they call this an SUV, all right? You take a good look at this, and you think to yourself, well, if it's a sports utility vehicle, what the hell could you possibly carry in this? Take a good look. Like, the damn thing is so small, I don't think you could fit a soccer ball or any type of luggage in there to play any type of sports at all. You know why? Because it's a giant piece of garbage. The biggest problem with this thing right now is the size. Just starting out, the size makes you feel like you're some sort of midget, because you're like, how am I supposed to fit in this thing? You think to yourself, I spent $43,000 that I went to my job on a daily basis to just burn my life away to pay for this shit, and it's the size of the Lollipop Guild's vehicle. I mean, you carrying a bunch of midgets around? Are you carrying a bunch of little mini people? Because this vehicle is not meant for big adults. You can't fit anybody in it. So I don't know what BMW was thinking about, or the Germans, for that matter, were thinking about with their Werk, when they decided to make this vehicle so damn small that you can't even fit a football inside of it, but it's a sports utility vehicle. Now, why would they call it a sports utility vehicle? Because they're dumb. You take a good hard look at this and you think to yourself, Jesus, I just spent 43 grand on this and it doesn't even do anything. Well, when you get inside of it, you don't feel like you're in a sports utility vehicle. You feel like you're in some sort of like rich luxury car, okay? Which will give them some sort of credit. Now, I'm aware it's a SUV or a crossover, whatever the hell people are calling it today, because to me, there is a distinction between the two, a huge one. But some people can't distinguish that. They call this an SUV when in reality it's a crossover. So I'm not getting it confused, just so you people know when you're watching this. I'm trying to tell you both names because there's people going to be watching this and say, well, I thought it was this and I thought it was that. Well, like, you're confusing me already. Well, shut up and listen. So the problems come because I guess in Germany, people are 5'1", 4'9". I mean, whatever the height is, don't really know. Don't give a shit. I don't care what size you are. Just don't make it for people this tall, okay? Because it's not fun to drive. Okay, so here we go. You take a look. The first thing I'm going to show you is the rims, okay? You spend $43,000 of your hard-earned money for that. For crappy-ass rims that look like they belong in a Civic. Now, these tires, absolutely cheap as balls. You can find this shit at the dollar store. They are completely stupid and have no idea, obviously, what they're doing when they make a vehicle. They put all of their gadgets and all of their good stuff on the inside of the vehicle. That's one thing about BMW that irritates me. The outside looks like a blind mechanic and blind technician set the car up. Now, when you get inside, the inside looks like they hired somebody with an actual brainstem and intelligence to set it up, because it looks insanely nice on the inside. I will give them that. But do we really need that kind of interior on a cheap-ass vehicle on the outside? No. You have to have a balance between the two, otherwise it's just a waste of time to drive, because people aren't going to be like, whoa, guys, I bet you that ugly BMW has a nice interior. Let's go check out his interior. Okay? That is dumb. Beyond dumb. $43,000 for piece of shit rims, okay? That is already pissing me off. If I was an owner of one of these, I'd be kicking my computer screen right now. Or phone screen, whatever you guys are using these days. Another cheap-ass rim with BMW center caps. BMW, blah, 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 blah. And you ask yourself, Why do they have BMW center caps? You already know right now, every single one of you, and if you don't, watch my other videos, how I feel about badges all over the car. Or badges all over an SUV. Badges all over anything. You don't need to shove it down everyone's throat while you're driving, because it just makes you look like a giant wiener. X3, blah, 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 blah. I'm just gonna rest here for a minute. Let me ask you one thing, all right? A question we all are thinking when we check out your vehicles. Where the hell is the actual name of the cars? Okay, everybody else on the planet comes out with names for their vehicles. For Christ's sake, even Honda has names for their vehicles. Even Hyundai has names for their vehicles. Even Yugo had names for their vehicles. Even Studebaker. Like, you sit and think about all the cars over the years that have names. Car companies that make names for their vehicles because they're proud. You get a company that charges you $1 million for a crossover piece of trash like this, and they can't even give you a name for the vehicle. They give you a freaking a letter and a number. Like, you're driving around in a letter and a number vehicle. Like, you're not even driving anything stylish enough to have a name. When you're driving around, you're like, I spend so much money and I don't have a name for my car. That's why these dummies walk around and say, don't touch baby. They come up with names like Baby or Rosie or Bob when they're driving a vehicle, because they're driving this shit and there's no name for it. Really? Idiots, man. Alright. How is my rant? If you don't like my rant, shut the hell up. Alright. Now you take a look. BMW badge, all right? A giant one on the front of the vehicle. Now, if you take a look, it just looks like some sort of like wild animal front end. Like, well, like the company just decided, you know, we made a tiny SUV for the Lollipop Guild. Can we just make the front end look like a torpedo with teeth? Well, unfortunately, no matter how fast this flies through the air, it's still a BMW and it's slow as shit. See, and here's another thing about the vehicle. Okay, the money you paid for it, it comes with a 2.0 4-cylinder, all right? Yeah, you spent that much money on a vehicle, they slap a baby turbo on it that gives it no power whatsoever. It probably gives it 5 horsepower. It's gonna be like just pushing a ball down a hill. It might pick up a little bit of speed, but you're not gonna be satisfied. This is the stupidest engine you could possibly put in something you spend so much money on. Like, what the hell could you possibly accomplish by driving this thing? I wouldn't put my family in this thing. You know why? Because they wouldn't fit. For the amount of money you spend, you feel like you should be getting a bunch of gold and diamonds in the engine. 43 grand for this? I'm not impressed at all. I feel like I should be just taking a dump in a toilet somewhere, thinking about the next vehicle I won't even talk about. Who the hell would want to drive this thing? Like, look at this. Look! Really? This is stupid. What? Okay. Look, the vehicle sat so long, absolutely so long on the lot, there was pine needles and stuff. Really? It shows you right here, basically, that nobody wanted to drive this thing. Nobody wants to buy it. That's why it's still on the lot. So, don't buy it. Let's close this because it's making me sick. Ew. Ugh. Loud enough? Wow, I'd like to do a review on his vehicle. Anyway, the headlights are one thing that belongs on a vehicle that should be spectacular when you look at. Because it sits on the front of the vehicle and it's the first thing everybody sees when you drive by. This has these really dim looking stupid bulbs inside. I can't turn them on because it's the middle of the day, but you'd think that they would put the bright blues or something that, you know, when it illuminates everything, you're like, whoa, man, I wonder what vehicle that is from far away, because I know that some of you see those vehicles when they're driving and they're just the brightest blue lights and you love them so much. Well, this crap doesn't have it. So, another strike against this crap. Another one. Another strike. So far, we're up to like 100 strikes and no positive points. Not even the interior can make up for that. because you can't sit in it. You're too big for it. Now, let's take a quick slide around the vehicle so you can see how stupid and ugly this trim truly is. Like a useless air vent that doesn't even work. I don't know if you can see that, but no air can actually make it through. It's only there for cosmetic reasons. Why you need an air vent? It's to try to make you feel cool, but unfortunately it just made you look more stupid for having one. This is absolutely stupid beyond belief. Why the hell is there some random silver plastic trim on the bottom of the vehicle to try to give it some sort of aerodynamic feature? Like, really? I would love to just kick it right now and take my anger out, because I don't know what BMW was thinking releasing this hunk of garbage. I would much rather drive a giant turd with a steering wheel, because at least when you're driving a giant turd, it stinks out everybody, and everybody would be like, oh my god, and they'd have a reason to be vulgarly upset over it, okay? Because driving this, I'd be vulgarly upset that I spent 43 grand on a giant ass machine, okay? Now we move to the back of the vehicle, and you take a look, okay? It's the X-Drive 30i. You ask yourself, what is the X-Drive 30i? Do you really want to know what that is? Google it, because I'm not telling you. It's really stupid. Now these stupid taillights, like, you look at them and you ask yourself, what was the designer really thinking when they designed them? I mean, it just looks like a giant bubble wrap, red bubble wrap. Like, you couldn't come up with a design, so you took a design that you already had that was ugly, made it more ugly with a little bit of a spin for this year, and just stuck it back on the vehicle to make everybody really regret buying the vehicle again. You guys are never gonna learn. And you put a giant badge on the back of the vehicle next to the X3. Since you're too cheap to give your vehicle a name, what could I waste my money on? A BMW. I'm gonna go buy this junker that has no features today just because I want to spend the money. Well, I feel sorry for you guys, because that's what some of these morons do, because somebody had to have bought this vehicle. So if you're one of those people, I'm sorry for you, because I would never buy one. You take a good look at the exhaust in this weird silver plastic thing. See? Weird silver plastic thing on the back again, with these ugly tips that are the size of pencils. Like, they look like they came from the Honda assembly line. So they give you these little exhaust tips like they would put on a Honda. So far a Honda has better rims, a better stylish vehicle, and better exhaust. Really? The exhaust tips on a Honda Civic are 10,000 times nicer than that garbage on this crap. Like, this looks like a giant toilet. This could literally be a black toilet that you're driving around in, a $43,000 black toilet. You sit inside of it because it's so small, and you're just driving a giant turd mobile, and you're like, I wasted money for no reason. I wasted money for no reason because I want to be cool. If you want to piss out 43 grand, give it to me. If you want the kind of money for this thing, I would gladly take the money for you, and I'll buy something that I like, which is pretty much nothing. So I'll just keep the money and go like this. That's basically what you're doing. Anyway, let's move on to the $1 million interior that BMW decided was more important than the exterior. X-Line. That right there, couldn't you put that on the back? Couldn't you put that somewhere else on the vehicle? Why right there? Nobody can see it unless you own the vehicle. So right off the bat, opening the door is already something completely stupid. Now, I didn't notice this till just now, okay? For those of you who know me, who have seen my other videos, you will understand why I'm getting upset right now when I show it. They put wood in the vehicle. Wood, okay? Wood. Wood. Okay, wood. And you know what else is making me mad is the fact that the interior has steel. Steel. Well, it's not really steel. It's plastic, but it's meant to look like steel. So they put wood trim. Wood, I can't say it enough. I just can't. I can't. Right now, I am literally freaking out because there is wood inside this crap hole vehicle. Now, whatever points I was giving for the nice interior has just dropped 80%. So from now on, this is a 20% interior vehicle. It's just as ugly as the exterior now. Let's see if there's any good points about this interior, because it just lost a bunch of cool points for this ugly ass wood. Now, we sit in the vehicle and I'm looking around. There is leather seats that feel like it was freshly skinned off of an animal, which by sitting 2 or 3 times in the vehicle, by the end, you know what, maybe a little more than 2 or 3 times, by the end of the month of owning the vehicle, there's going to be ass imprints all over everything, and there's going to be creases. So now you're forced to have to wipe these things down all the time, or they're going to have creases all over them, which is a complete waste of time if you're a rich person, or you're a person that wanted to spend the money on this vehicle and the shitty exterior. Why would you want to waste all your money on the interior? Shining this crap, whoever owns this is going to destroy the hell out of this vehicle and will not care, because I would do the same thing. Now, you look, they give you a giant iPad looking thing as your actual, as your actual nav screen that does everything. And it's high tech. You touch the button and it basically does everything for you. Now, you ask yourself, why would I need one of these in my vehicle? Because half of you text while driving, and then more than half of you play with buttons while you're driving. So they give you something to play with while you're driving so you don't have to play with your phone. So BMW doesn't care for your well-being or safety. They want you to play with their equipment and not your own. Wow. Very good job, BMW. Idiots. Anyway, you take a look down. It doesn't actually move. It's a button and you press the release and you just shift down and shift up. Back and forth. It's utterly ridiculous. Every vehicle is making somebody lazier and lazier as time goes on. More and more lazy. The vehicle does all the work for you already, and now you can't even be bothered to move your arm 3 inches to put a vehicle in park, reverse, drive, or neutral. You have to have one that just goes bloop, 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 bloop when you're moving it. Really? Like, come the hell on now. And you get this giant knob thingy that looks like the cap to a soda bottle right next to it that controls everything. This is utterly ridiculously stupid. No brain activity with the customization in this vehicle. It is literally one of the ugliest things I have ever seen. I just want to barf my guts out. Like, look at this tack and gauge cluster. It's all digital. So if ever your vehicle decides that it wants to malfunction while you're in the middle of driving, you can't tell what you're actually doing, or what your speed is, what RPMs you're at, or what your gauges are actually saying, because it's all digital. We rely so much on computers that we are screwing ourselves over. And then if you look right here, guess what that is? The X3 badge in the middle of your console. Right in the center, while you're driving, your vehicle says X3. What the hell does that need to be in your center for? If you don't know you're driving a BMW X3 and you bought it, you might want to have your head examined. Really? Stupid. And the back seat is so damn small, you couldn't even fit 2 kids back there. That's how small it is. Like, I'd be scared to sit back there because I'd end up breaking my neck or something. As you saw the interior, I'm sure all of you that actually watched this video realized how ugly truly this vehicle is, and you won't buy it. Because if you do buy it, you're a sucker. And if you're a sucker, then that just makes me laugh at you even more. Because I would never buy this thing. I would never, even if I had the money, I would probably buy this and put it in a demolition derby. Alright, I'm pretty much done with this crap. This vehicle sucks. So, to all my returning viewers and subscribers, like and comment. Thank you so much for watching. To all my new viewers, like, comment, subscribe. I'm just done with this stupid vehicle. You know what? I'm gonna drive this off the cliff.